Hey everyone, this is Manly Baz Hero, and welcome back to Grotesque Beauty. Previously, we left off on a cliffhanger, or should I say a bad decision hanger. So previously, we encountered this thing. We made a bad decision, so we're gonna fight it. We fight it. Against that thing? Are you crazy? There's no way it's gonna let us go so easily. If we make a run for it, it'll surely catch us. We need to face it whilst we're together. Attack first, because that sounds dumb. Both of them actually sound dumb, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Taking initiative, I sprang forward, hoping to catch a creature off guard. It was an unexpected move, perhaps something I had never encountered from its prey. That was the hope, at least. Reality didn't always play out as planned. Before I reached the creature, I had shot out a tentacle that jabbed me at the throat. The strike knocks the wind out of me, and I collapsed down to the ground below the creature. Clutching at my throat, I desperately gasped for air. I was suddenly thrust backward, pinned to the floor as the creature came on top of me. It's getting a little weird. It's getting a little weird. Its claws dug into my shoulders. A horrible face pressed against mine until our eyeballs almost touched. I saw myself reflected in the monster's black eyes. A foul smell assaulted my senses. The creature whined and smiled. He looked like a violator, stretching its lips way back, exposing any array of knife-like teeth. They parted like a guillotine being drawn. The creature's open jaws were ready to clamp down on me. I stuck out both hands to suppress the bite, pushing against the misshapen head with all my might. Staring into the black void, and where's my friend doing? What is my friend doing? Staring into the black void inside its mouth, I saw fate worse than death. Suddenly the creature reeled back. And he had caught it unaware and launched a barrage of punches against the creature's back. She fought with a fury driven more off desperation than anything else. The creature turned to face Anita. Her resistance suddenly died. Like a finger snuffing out a candle, any oppressive hand stopped the fight in her. The creature lurched towards her. Taking each step, Anita surrendered. With a sudden flash of movement, the creature snatched something from her. Oh god. A splatter of blood arced in the air. Anita's scream shook the heavens. A disembodied limb fell to the floor. Anita dropped down, clutching her left shoulder where the creature had just severed her arm. It kicked the disembodied limb to the side like it was a nuisance. Anita's tearful screams were a mix of fear and pain. The creature closed in on her. Oh god. Oh no. Better save. Save. Here. Take a weapon. I need to help Anita, but there was nothing I could do with my bare hands. Yeah. So while she does need a hand, she doesn't need a literal hand. But she does need a doctor. I quickly scanned the room, searching desperately for something I could use as a weapon. My gaze immediately settled on a brass piece of sculpture on the dressing table. It was small enough to wield and looked heavy. Perfect. I dashed over to grab it. The creature remained focused on Anita. It cornered her, moving in to deliver the final blow. Its back was presented to me. Take art, you bastard! Without thinking, I ran into the sculpture held over high over my head, and slammed it hard against the back of the creature. The force threw it off balance, but it continued to stand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if some kind of weird other-dimensional alien just went down with a simple, piece of art, they wouldn't be a very powerful, long-lived race. I brought the instrument back and dashed it against the side of its head. This time the creature flew across the room, landing with a heavy impact. It tried to stand, but before I could fully recover, I was on top of my weapon already. The back of the creature's head was given to me. I raised the sculpture once more and thumped it down, cracking something in the process. Then again, art was always hardcore. Without pause, I rained down a savage beating against the monster. The sound of the pommeling intermingled with my screams. Stop! I froze mid-action, my weapon paused in the air. The temperature suddenly went colder. Beads of sweat slowly traced a path down my face. A gentle voice came from the monster and touched my ears. Don't stop! That thing tried to eat us. Both spiritually and figuratively, and literally. The creature seemed to have disappeared and was replaced by a small figure. Oh, it's her sister. She lifted her head up and I almost fainted from the shock. It consumes the bodies like a body shifter. Big sis, don't hurt me. Please stop hurting me. Hannah! The innocent eyes of my little sister begged me for help. Suddenly I thought I was in a dream. This real moment caught me off guard. I feel a jolt inside me like a cold hand wrapped around my heart. I choke back the tears. Uh-oh, satchel voices. Rachel, you're gonna save me, aren't you? You promised you would. Please don't hurt me anymore. And Rachel, I want to go home. Please take me home. Don't you dare. Please, Rachel, please don't kill me. Kill her. I shoved my eyes in a loud inhuman scream as I smashed a brass object to get my little sister's head. Through the tears, I saw her body slump to the floor. A deep cut opened at her head. She stared lifelessly off into the distance. My body shook with anger. How dare that thing disgrace the memory of my sister? I swallowed away my sobs and pulled my eyes away from the terrible image of my dead sister. Anita laid unconscious on the other side of the room, a puddle of blood dying around her. I hurried over to her, fearing the worst. Kneeling by her side, I checked for a pulse. It was faint, but she was still alive. Anita, it's me. Please get up, we're safe now. Is it gonna be a thing where they see the monster looking like the little sister and then arrest her, saying that she murdered her little sister? And then Anita dies too from blood loss, so it becomes a bit of Sayano Uta ending. Monster's dead, we can get out of here now. We can get help. Just hold on. Don't give up on me. We said we'll make it out of here alive. I may have betrayed you in about like 5 other endings, but still, not this time. The 2 of us. Oh god, it's still alive? You can't leave just yet. After everything that's happened, please. Hang in there. I'm begging you. Don't leave me alone. Come on, Anita. Wake up and throw a rock at that thing. Just innocent life awakened in my friend. Anita slowly peeled her eyes open and let out a murmur. Anita, thank God you're alive. Save your strength, Anita. I'll get you help right away. Turn around. What are you saying? I pressed an ear close to her, and the warning became clear. Turn around. A flash of light. Red, then white. Something wet ran down my face. Everything grew dark. A shadowy figure raced something above his head. Another flash. The world grew numb. I didn't feel a thing. Everything felt like a photograph being developed in reverse. The details washed away. Objects receded into abstraction. Then everything was black. See, this is why you always follow through. You fight the otherworldly dimensional alien thing. You follow through. You finish job. Ending 30. The sister. Huh. Wow, that was ending 30. That was the last one, technically. There's 30 total endings. But I'm just saying. Follow through. Alright, let's just try tackling it from behind. It's gonna go bad. A wave of different emotions raged inside of me. Anger, terror, shock. The found out blood gushing from Anita's wounds summoned a red mist in me. My friend was in danger. She needed me. I sprung back to my feet and rushed towards the creature. It cornered Anita, moving in to deliver the final blow. Its back was presented to me. I leaped up into the air, landing on its back and wrapped my arms around its neck. I leaned back in and attempted to steer it away from Anita. The creature staggered, unable to control its movement. We crashed into a wall continuously, each wrestling for control. The creature hunched over, sliding me up its back, allowing it more control. It spun around and slammed its back against the wall, squashing me in the process. Then we got Frodo'd. Again, it rained back and smashed me. I felt tiny fractures inside of me. Shockwaves of pain spread outward from my spine to my fingertips. My grip loosened and a final slam knocks the wind out of me. I toppled to the floor. The creature turned to face me, seemingly pleased at its work. pleased. I tried to stand, but my body refused to move. Pain stabbed me with even the slightest movement. The creature reached a hand out to clamp down my jaw. My screams were muffled behind its grasp. A menacing look glinted in its eyes. A mischievous idea brewing in its mind. It flicked a tongue set aside to salivate over its helpless prey. Suddenly, an incredible amount of force squeezed against the side of my cheeks. The creature's nails cut deep into my skin, drawing blood. Agony surged in me. The creature's grip began to pull, threatening to tear off my jaw. I felt the very fabric of my being stretch and snap piece by piece. Tiny pops echoed inside me as soon as they passed our point of elasticity. Then with a heavy grunt, the creature forcibly pulled back, completely tearing away my lower jaw. I saw, almost in slow motion, the back of my teeth fly free as they separated from me. Isn't there a Mortal Kombat fatality like this? It was alien to witness a surreal moment, and his screams were invigorated. A torrent of blood gushed from the opening. I felt instantly weak. Darkness clouded my vision. I shut my eyes and let out my final breath. Well, we got a mouthful. Or should I say a lack of one. Ending 29, I must scream. Well, it seems like this whole, arc is like a dead end. You get 29 and 30. So fighting against it is a complete losing battle. So it's probably running or negotiating. Let's try running. Run for it. We turned and ran out the door. We were incredibly lucky to be positioned close to the exit. Otherwise, I fear we would have had stood no chance in escaping. As we sprinted out of the room, I felt the unnatural quickness of the creature rushing after us. We can go near the painting and maybe push it in. Oh god, that's weird. It was close. But his room was the nearest safety. I rushed over Nina, falling quickly. We both turned and slammed the door behind us just in the nick of time. The door frame shook as the creature threw itself out the door. Annie and I both braced against it as we tried desperately to hold the door shut. I saw the handle rotate. Damn, it's like a damn raptor. Reacting sharply with senses heightened by their adrenaline, I yanked the handle back upright, supporting with both hands. Annie joined me was keeping her body weight pressed against the door. A spine-tingling sound came from the other side of the door. A furious wail echoed in the corridor as the creature pounded menacingly against the door. What are we gonna do? Keep this door shut. We can't let it come in or we're toast. The monstrous noise continued. It pounded against the door like a battering ram, but still we held on with our bodies pushing back. Thank our lucky stars this door opens inward. I don't think we could have held on if it opened the other way. The screaming outside died and suddenly all was quiet. Eddie and I exchanged a look of confusion. What happened? Why'd I go quiet all of a sudden? Do you think it's still out there? Eddie had pressed an ear against the door. A look of deep concentration spread across her face. Man, modern doors aren't worth a damn. I think I probably just punched through it. They're like hollow. I think I hear something. You hear that? Shh, listen. Let me in. I'm a fairy. You believe in fairies, don't you? The sound was faint at first, but there was no mistaking it. That sounded like someone crying. A little girl. What's a little girl doing here? Maybe she came out of the painting. Or maybe it's a trap. Help me. Help somebody. Oh god, I don't believe it. There's actually someone out there. This can't be real. Rachel, are you there? Please help me. That voice. There was familiarity in the voice. I let out a gasp, but I had to make the connection. Hannah, is that you? You really gotta stop being tempted by Hannah. There's a shape-shifting thing out there. Stop being tempted. What? It can't be.
Help me.
Uh-oh. Don't leave me behind again. Don't listen to it. That's not your sister. It just can't be. I'm scared. Please save me, Rachel. I don't want to be alone. 'Saving the game again? And then we're gonna... Now, the stupid thing is to answer the door, which is why we're gonna do it first. Hannah, don't worry. I won't let you go. Rachel, no! I wrenched the door handle free from Anita and flung the door open. Then I saw her, the sight I've longed for all these years. My sister sat before me, as sweet as I remember her. She smiled at me. Her fangs, glistened in the dark. I heard the door slam behind me. A tingling sensation shot into my stomach. The light seemed to dissolve away. I fell to the ground. As darkness blankets my world, I hear Anita screaming. Don't trust your little sister, 'cause she's a damn demon. And 18 that returned. In fact, don't trust your sister anyway. Now we're gonna do the smart thing, which is don't answer that door. Let me come in. I want to play your Super Nintendo. No, you always break the Super Nintendo. We got 2 dead N64 controllers because of you. I don't believe you. You're not my Hannah. My little sister would never try to lure me out to be killed by some monster. That's such a specific statement. You don't really have to say it like that. That's like so specific. It could be more like, you're just not my sister. Like that's what you'd most likely say, right? But no, that was like, my little sister would never lure me out to be killed by a monster. Well, I would hope so, for one. And secondly, like, what is that accusation? Because they're like, kind of like one and the same. You need to try harder than that if this is all you've got. Rachel, you have to believe me. Just open the door. I won't. Not for a creep like you. Sis, open the door. I want to play the Nintendo 64. Just open the door, you... Oh, wow. You such language, Hannah. My sister would never swear. Let alone invite me out to be killed by a monster. Open the door, I will kill you slowly. I'll rip your eyes out. I'll tear the meat off your bones. I'll drown your friend in a pool of your blood. The longer you delay the inevitable, the more I will make your life torture. Open the door now. The room descended. They spelled it wrong, but descended to emptiness. Hearing the threat has left Anita and I paralyzed with fear. All we could do was share a look of distraught as to keep that door shut. The sound of shuffling feet paced back and forth in the hallway. Sometimes it disappeared into another room, only to return a moment later. Now and then we try the door, but we spring up to resist it. We really need to get some furniture on this thing. Some time passed as the sound of it moved away. The corridor was silent for a considerable time. Do you think it's gone? No, I think it's coming for that damn window. Where could have disappeared to? Maybe it went back into the painting of the rest. I don't think so. I think I heard it in the other room. Then what should we do? We can't stay here forever. Eventually we'll get inside. We need to find a way out. That would mean opening the door and sneaking out. I do wonder if you could just wait it out. I mean, it's risky because you can, theoretically, that thing can just punch through a damn door. Unless you got some nice full wooden doors, that thing can punch through a door. A human being can punch entirely through a door. I've seen it. That thing can punch through a door. I'm just saying, just punch through, open the knob, and just let itself right in. And you know, it's an inner door. Front doors are usually solid wood. Inner doors are usually like light, like that thin stuff. It's like 2 poster boards. Oh god. Hey, it's gonna be alright. Listen to me. Hell, even then, if this is like a typical suburban house, those walls are pretty thin. They could probably just punch through the damn walls. It just has to like kind of feel around like, okay, where's the studs? Alright, this is a load-bearing beam. This is just drywall. I'm punching right through it. Bam. It's like Nemesis is in Kool-Aid Man. Hey, it's gonna be alright. Listen to me. I'm just so scared. I can't cope. Oh, can't take much more of this. We don't have to. We're safe for now, Anita. I need you to be strong. I promise you will get out of here alive. Just the two of us will make it through. I'll protect you, okay? This will all be over soon, but for now you must be brave. What if she's also bad, though? Like, she's just a rival alien. That'll be the twist in the end. Be a thriller Michael Jackson moment at the end there. If we have each other's back, no one can break us. You're kind of like in Eternal Darkness, where all the elder gods are like opposing each other in the game a little bit. Okay, thank you, Rachel. I'm glad you're here with me. You've always been so strong, and you've always been a good friend. I'll try to be as strong as you. That's good. Have you heard anything from outside? No, I haven't heard anything for a while. I think the last time I heard it was in my parents' room. That's the last time I heard anything, too. Maybe it is safe right now. Okay, once again, this is a trap, but let's make it never safe. Oh. Okay. I think... Let's try leaving a room. That can be both the right answer, but it also can be terribly the wrong answer. I think we should try it. Let's seek out now. Okay then, you go ahead. I'll follow you behind. Why do I always hope to be the one to go first? Because you're braver than me. I'll admit it. Alright, just stay close, okay? I'll open the door a little first to take a look. I turned the handle as gently as I could and pulled the door open just enough for me to squeeze my head through. We lowered our voices. Do you see anything? No, it's all clear. Let me just take a look around the corner. I consciously eased my upper body out of the door to peek down the corridor. It looks safe right now. Come on, let's hurry out of here. I crawled out the door, keeping myself small, distributing my weight as not to creak any old floorboards. Anita followed suit and ducked low behind me. We approached the top of the stairs slowly, constantly on alert for signs of the creature. We were ready to bolt at any sign of it. I took the first step, playing my feet hesitantly before easing my body weight onto it. Feeling more confident, I began descending the stairs at a steady pace. I looked up at Anita and gave her a nod of encouragement. I could see how nervous she was. Her trembling hands gripped the railings for support. As quietly as we could, we both took steps in rhythm. This is it. The point of no return. We were too far from the bedroom to abandon the plan. I focused on taking one step at a time, making sure to spread my weight to avoid making any sound. The bomb drew nearer. The front door is not far now. The finish line was in sight. Could just be camping out there. Here's my question. Why didn't we try the window? Even if it was like 2 stories, we could probably make that jump. A faint glimmer of hope returned to my heart. In my excitement, I took a heavy step. The plank beneath me creaked. In the stillness of the night, it resonated like a hammer drop. I turned to Anita. She returned a horrified look. Behind her, a dark silhouette grew larger. Metal Gear Solid theme starts to kick in right about now. I locked eyes with it as it came hurling down the stairs. Dun 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 dun. Oh god. Dun dun. Run! I took Anita's wrist and sprinted like my life depended on it. I didn't turn back but kept a tight tether on Anita. A whirlwind of shrieks chased us. I felt the creature's presence nearby. I ran like a maniac. Anita was keeping up, but so was the creature. We closed in on the front door. I reached for the locks and quickly threw the door open. The cold night welcomed us. I took a step outside and glanced back for Anita. She ran into my arms and let out a panic cry. Oh, don't stop. Keep running. Right on her heels, I saw the monster. It was nearly upon us. It leapt forward like an animal. I fell back with Anita, still in my arms. I shut my eyes, bracing for impact. But that moment never came. I opened my eyes and saw we were still lying on the concrete road outside. I expected the thing to be tearing at us as we lay helplessly on the ground. We should be dead, but here we were, without a scratch on us, undisturbed. Anita helped me to my feet. Maybe it can't go too far from the painting. Look! I followed her finger back to the house. There at the porch, the monster remained. It lashed out towards us, but seemed unable to move forward. Yeah. Then what about the I hope the parents aren't home. It was like an invisible wall keeping it at bay. The creature was unable to reach us. I move a little towards it, stopping just outside the boundaries of its reach. And this is when you get trolled. It's like, oh no, I was just acting. It just grabs you. I took a semester at mime school. I dared to look it in the eyes. Menace flared up in it. Its jaws snapped and spat. I felt like I was staring death in the face. Despite the relative safety, I could not help but feel frail staying next to this thing. Suddenly the creature stopped. It instantly lost all interest in me. It turned and disappeared back inside the house, leaving me and Anita outside. We were free. We did it! We've escaped! Now you can never go back in your house again. Can't even sell the damn thing. A real estate agent can go in there and get grabbed by the thing. And again, we don't like real estate agents, do we? Oh my god, I can't believe it. I didn't think we'd make it. I know, right? What a relief. Holy crap. What happens now? We should just get the hell out of here. Or be as far from here as possible. What about our parents? Come on, we should get going. Wait. Oh god, what about my parents? Huh? What happens when they come back? We can't let them go into the house with that thing loose. Anita, we've just escaped. Burn it. Burn the house down. Let insurance deal with it. Well, my parents don't know what's going on. If we leave that thing in there, my parents will just be walking to their death. We have to do something. This is another major save that needs to be done. Let's try not going back first. I want to see what happens here. Lena, listen to me. We just barely got out of there alive. I know, but I just can't. Do you really want to go back in there? No, if we did go back inside, what can we do? That thing nearly killed us. There's no way we can fight it. I'm sorry, Nina, but you know I'm right. We can never go back inside. We've barely escaped this time. We might not be so lucky a second time around. But see, the problem is, if it possesses one of the parents, I can just walk normally out. And go for them later on. And Nina came to the floor and began weeping. I gave her a gentle embrace. It was a tough decision to make, but deep down we both knew there was no way for us to fight back against this monster. Or just tell the parents not to go in there. Or burn it down, like I said. After a brief moment, we got back to our feet and took a final look at the house. The cursed painting. Who knew where its rampage will end? We turned our back to the house and ran into the night. Ending 21, abandoned house. Man, I just did not care about the parents whatsoever. Okay, well, let's go back and pull the Doom guy. You're right. Your parents will be walking into a trap. We can't leave them like that. We'll have to go back inside and destroy that thing. Thank you, Rachel. I'm really glad you'll help save my parents. How are we gonna kill it? How do we even fight that thing? It's true, we haven't found any of its weaknesses. Maybe we can stab it. Take some knives from the kitchen. I don't know about that. We have to be smarter than a full frontal assault. This would be easier if we had a shotgun. Then again, shotgun's mainly shrapnel. Need a good 45. Now put that down. Stopping power. We can sneak up on it, lure it out and get it that way. Maybe a 45? Couple 45s, dual wield them. And then some fire? You know, like fire? Fire would be good. We should just burn down the house. Maybe I'm just thinking, we've seen that thing up close. It's gonna be hard to put a dent on that thing. There must be something it's afraid of. What do we know about it? We just saw it trapped by some invisible wall. Maybe we can use that somehow. The painting. What if we destroy the painting? Maybe something will happen if we destroy it. Like it's the source of its power or something like that. I feel like you push it back into the painting, if anything. You really think so? Isn't just using the painting as a doorway to our world? Yes, but it's clearly important in some way. There's something definitely important about it. I think it's worth a shot. Okay then. That's probably better than anything I could come with. I trust you. Alright, are you ready? No, but we then again I never will be, so let's do it. It probably won't suspect us, because he'd be like, no, there's no way they're coming back. That'd be stupid. I'm just gonna go chill out and watch some Netflix up on TV. I'm not paying for it anyways. We walked back to the house and returned to the scene of our nightmare. The place was quiet. We half expected the monster to be lying in wait ready to jump us at any moment. Evidently, he didn't expect our return. See, I told you. We may have this to our advantage. Because it's not like it's like a feral beast. It's essentially an extremely normal, logical thing. So it's like, no way they're coming back. That'd be stupid. That'd be a cinema sin. Ding. Where do you think it went? It probably didn't expect us to return, so maybe it went back inside the painting. What for? Maybe it needs to recover there, I don't know. Let's look around a little more just to be sure the place is safe. We scoured the ground floor, moving from room to room. This is really bad, because if it is actually just chilling in one of these things, we have no way to defend ourselves. They'll just grab us. After a quick scan, it was clear this level was empty. It's not here. Let's keep quiet. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's far away. Okay, how are we gonna do this? The kitchen. We can set it on fire. Now you're thinking of fire. You go put on the stove and get a fire going. I'll go get the painting. Sure thing. Anita darted to the kitchen, energized by the prospect of feeding the monster. I ambled to the painting. Its frame glistened with the light of a different world. Carefully, I lifted it from the wall. It was a little heavier than I expected. Its size made it more awkward to carry to the kitchen. My view was mostly obscured with carrying the large frame, and I had to be extra careful as not to bump into anything. A hissing sound from the other room indicated me that a fire was ready. I settled into the kitchen and Anita rushed over to help me carry the painting. I looked over to the stove and saw they were all in full blast. So you came back. You just couldn't help yourself, could you? Freely you walk back into the jaws of death. It would seem you are drawn to me. If you desire your end that much, then allow me to oblige. They rushed forward and plucked Anita into the sky. I stepped forward, but a flailing arm knocked me backward. The painting flew out my arms. Anita let out a pained squeal. The creature focused all her malice on her and threatened to rip her apart. I had to act fast. Oh god. Gotta save the game. I feel like this is too simple, but let's just throw painting in the fire. I sprung back to my feet and hoisted the painting over my head. Only then did the creature shoot me a glance. Its look unreadable. I held the painting to the fire. It catches fire instantly, erupting in a sheet of flames. Embers danced on its surface as soon as it was glowing in an iridescent color. The room trembled with a terrible scream. The monster thrashed about in some distress. It cursed and flailed as it staggered around the room. All of a sudden, a bright light flashed as it burst into flames. I guess it really was tied to the painting. The creature was a walking fireball. All the while, it was still clinging on Anita. She had a weak cough. Her body was burning from the monster's touch. Oh crap, we probably should have gotten her away from it when it was on fire, huh? The creature's scream grew more terrifying. It was completely engulfed in flames. It grabbed Anita and charged the house. Danger flared up into me. And there was several pockets of fire laying up around us. The whole house was catching fire. Rampaging demons saw to it that the place would go down in smoke. Wow, another choice. So many choices. Head my game. Just take Anita and run. Anita was my top priority. I dashed over to her. Are you alright? Anita coughed uncontrollably for a while. I need to get out of here. Can you stand? I think so. Just help me up. This might be the best ending here. This also leaves like a little bit of sequel bait, because then it's like, oh, we don't see what happened to the creature. What happened to him in the painting? It's burning. Don't worry. She glanced over the painting to confirm this for herself. You can hear the creature rampaging in the living room. A warm glow radiated from the door, indicating other parts of the house was catching fire. The building creaked as the foundation started to warp under the heat. Come on, let's get the hell out of here. See, it accomplished the same thing in the end anyways. We should just lit the fire from the outside and, like, baked it out. I needed slinging armor on my shoulder for support. She could the cough as we staggered for the exit. Plumes of smoke masked our vision. The heat stung our eyes and oxygen was burning up. This place became a death trap. The longer we stayed, our chance of escape dwindled. As we approached the end of the hallway, a silhouette emerged out of the fire. The creature cut in between us and the exit. In the fiery inferno, the creature's menacing eyes burned more intense. Oh god, it's giving me some kind of weird jazz hands. Patches of its skin have burned away. A warning what will happen if we remain here. Well, insects, you think you're very clever, don't you? You don't get to leave here. The spending hell will be your doom. He lurched forward, challenging us. There was no way around it. Go back. We turned clumsily back to the kitchen. Anita hobbling awkwardly. We could circle around to the living room. If the creature followed behind us, we can rotate the other way and reach the front door. I helped Anita as we went to the living room. We didn't get far when the monster cut us off yet again. It was too smart to be caught out like that. We backpedaled and retreated to the kitchen. The monster rushed in from the other side to make sure we wouldn't try getting around it again. We were cornered. Our end felt inevitable as it closed in on us. What do we do now? We pray. Right beside us, the painting lay on the stove. I dragged it down, stepping out the fire. What are you doing? I don't know, maybe we can use this. What is going on? Choices after choices. So many choices. This really is Goosebumps. This sounds stupid. Let's try attacking the monster with the painting. The creature advanced. It didn't take long for it to be right on top of us. I lifted the painting up over my head and charged at it. Using the painting like a shield, I threw my weight against the monster. Shockwaves traveled through me as I climbed into it. I didn't wait for a response. I need to get out of here! I brought the painting back and cracked it over the beast. It lifted a protective arm as I continued pummeling it. Anita scrambled to my side, refusing to surrender to her injury. She grabbed a chair to join me. We rammed the feet of the chair into the body of the creature. I was thankful for her help. I was beginning to feel weak from the lack of oxygen. Still we fought on. We were running on fumes. The creature let out a bellow and lashed back. Its anger erupted like a volcano. As if it had suddenly had enough of toying with us, it ripped our weapons from our hands and tossed them to the side. The beast delivered a blow to each of us, sending us crumpling to the floor. I struggled to breathe. The exertion has depleted the last of what little energy I had left in me. Oh, we're dead. Without warning, I was lifted high above the creature. Its tendrils danced around me and riven into the flames. I saw a claw beneath me. A flash of light zipped across, and the pain spread across my stomach. I felt light all of a sudden. Somewhere Anita was screaming. My head had been torn open. A gasp oozed out of me as I feel the weight of something spill out of me. And the organs. I opened my eyes and missed the horror of what happened. Bah! In my hands was something warm and wet. The hair on the back of my neck pricked up. I could hardly believe my eyes. A part of me was trying to make sense of what was trailing my arms, giving it any other meaning besides a reality. A deep hole was ripped in my abdomen where my guts poured out. My arms were the only thing keeping them from spilling all over the floor. The creature did not relent. It demanded more. It held me down and began pulling me apart. After this news, that tied me together snap apart. There was no resistance. My body snapped in two. I heard my innards splatter on the ground. The pain was all too much. The overwhelming sensation built up until I no longer felt anything at all. The world became numb. Everything receded as if a black mist was filling the room. Satisfied with his work, the creature let me drop. It turned and marched towards Anita. She screamed. I let out a final cry. As the sound left my body, so too does my last sliver of life. Fatality. Ending 23. Split. We tried to split, and we got splitted. What happens if we hide both in hide instead of painting? I feel like that's stupid. Wouldn't you be trapped? Or whatever. Maybe she'll chase after you in there or something. We should go into the painting. Are you mad? There's nowhere left to run. That thing has us cornered. If we stay here, we won't last long. The only safety left is inside the painting. That thing won't be able to get us from there. Brah, 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 brah. You're saying it's pretty much imprisonment. Do we know we'll get out of it? Face it, we're dead if we don't. I don't like to say more than you two, but here we have a chance of survival. But can we get back out? I don't know. That thing came out before, maybe we can too. Walls of fire enclosed as we look at our heels. The creature seemed unfazed, and stood there waiting for our next move. Okay, then I do it. Good. I lowered the paint to the floor. The surface of the portal shimmered. Anita stepped in first, her feet disappearing like she was tipping into an opaque pool. I watched as she jumped all the way in, bashing into the floor. The breeze continued to fall. I take one last look at the creature. It still didn't move. The portal swirled beneath me. Staring into it gave me a sense of vertigo. Who knew where this thing led? Whoever it was, it had to be better than this. I closed my eyes and jumped forward. My body wrestled with the confusion of falling for a prolonged period of time. How do we know there's not more of these things in there? I flailed about trying to find which way was up. Soon enough, I landed on top of Anita on steady ground. The portal was still visible from this side. The edges of the portal glistened and began to shrink. Strangely, it conjured up an image of a body bag being zipped closed. As quickly as the thought had left me, the portal vanished and the world descended into darkness. Anita got to her feet and looked at me quizzically. I didn't say a word. There was nothing I could say. We were in a new world now. None of us knew what path lay before us. We turned our attention to our new landscape and peered into the dark. Ending 24. New World. I'm pretty sure that's a doomed ending too. Like, no way you're getting out. So maybe you are supposed to finish it off. Gotta finish the fight, gotta follow through. Seriously, make sure the creature's dead. Before I can make a run for it, I need to make sure that thing was dead first. I need to feed the fire some more. The creature was in the living room. I made a beeline for it, dragging a wooden chair behind me. The living room was already on fire. As the center stood the monster, still thrashing around angrily. Without a thought, I ran up to it at the chair, smashing against the demon's back. In a heat of fear, I beat the chair against it again and again. The chair caught fire and was quickly rendered useless. I rushed to grab a new weapon. As I turned around, pain stabbed in my back. It probably just stabbed us. I staggered to the ground. We tend to get really stabbed with this thing a lot. The creature picked me up with burning hands and threw me against the wall. My senses were nearly knocked out of me. I struggled to get back on my feet, swayed as I tried to control my balance. A dark, burning silhouette stood menacingly in front of me. It had me cornered. I tried to slip through the side, something hit me around the neck and pushed me back to the corner. A claw came on and slashed in my face. It's okay. It's okay. You just got a cool scar. Anita's gonna stab it from behind. A flash of red. A piece of iron filled my mouth. This is it. There's no way out. The house was quickly being consumed by the fire. Everywhere I looked was destruction. I coughed uncontrollably, smoke filling up my lungs. I'm gonna die here. I looked up at the creature. It smiled back. It too knew the end drew near. I braced myself but could not foresee what happened next. A robed figure appeared from behind. It leapt on the creature's back and they both toppled to the side. Anita, no! Anita was wrestling the monster to the ground. She screamed in agony as the flames claimed her body. Well, I feel bad for all the times I sacrificed you first. But you did it without question. Go on, get out of here! With tears disintegrating into the heat, leaving a sparkle rise in the smoke. I choked back my words of thank you. There was so much I wanted to tell her at that moment. The building continued to collapse. My friend's sacrifice will not be in vain. Goodbye, my friend. If we just lit this fire from the outside, this would have been solved. I ran out the door, leaving behind the burning wreckage. A glorious blaze stood where the house once was, and the black skeletal structure was visible. Nothing could survive a fire like that. The painting must be destroyed, and the monster must be dead. After all that's happened on this night, all the things that defy belief, it can't bend this law of reality. At last, the night was over. We defeated the creature, received Anita's family from a gruesome fate. They will never claim another victim again, but the price was high. I fell to my knees and let go of all the emotions I've been holding back. My body shook from the weeping. Despite the heat emanating from the fire, I felt cold and alone. It took half an hour for the firefighters to arrive. When they put out the blazing inferno, the house was nothing but rubble. Only whispers and ashes remained. An ambulance came to take me away. I was unresponsive to their questioning. They understood and let me have my silence. In time, they will be asking questions. They had all the time in the world. A team of investigators scoured the wreckage for any survivors. As expected, there was nothing to be found. But there was something peculiar about the site. Some of the investigators believed it was some prank, that someone must have tampered with the investigation and secretly gained access to the site. From among the rooms, they found something strange. She went back in the painting. Of all the destruction, this one object had been found in great condition. No one knew where it came from, and no one knew the destruction it caused. That's kind of a failed ending too, though, in a way. Angel of Fire, ending 22. Because, okay, you went back in to kill it, but you failed to kill it. So you also went back to save your parents. But there were so many ways I couldn't resolve without doing that. So we get nothing but one dead friend and one dead friend's alive parents. Or I think it was a girlfriend or something. So I'm going back to here. Let's try hiding Anita inside the painting. So we still haven't found what is the true ending. The last one we just did kind of seemed like it, but I don't think that's not the true ending, going by what the word of God, the creator, is. And he jump inside. What? Are you crazy? It's not safe here. We're corner of nowhere left to go. The only safety left is inside the painting. That thing won't be able to get you from there. How will I be able to get out? Won't I be trapped in there? I'll be out here. As long as I'm on the outside, I won't let the portal close on you. You're injured right now. It's going to be impossible to get you out of here. Maybe this is a good ending. Okay, maybe like she grabs it, runs out, and like dumps her back out. Inside the painting, I'll be able to smuggle you to safety. Alright then. I trust you have a plan. I have no plan. I lowered the paint to the floor. The surface of the portal shimmered. Anita stepped in, her feet disappearing, like she was dipping into an opaque pool. I watched as she jumped all the way in and vanished into the floor. The breeze continued to fall. The creature regarded this unexpected turn of events. It patiently waited for my next move, seemingly unconcerned with the fire around us. Come on, what are you waiting for? Come on, insect. How desperate you are to surrender your friend like that. But it was a mercy. You spared her a more gruesome fate, and yet you stay here alone. Are you so ignorant of the suffering I'll put you through? If you are wise, you follow your friend in the painting. I'm not running this time. If you're gonna kill me, then just get on with it. The creature moved in, bringing a wall of fire with it. I wonder if the heat affected my judgment. This could be the true ending, because it's like a one-on-one grudge match. I felt lightheaded but continued to stand strong, for instinct from an unknown source. The beast towered over me. It was ready to strike, and it was right where I needed to be. I kicked the painting across the floor. It slid smoothly on the ceramic tiles and whizzed past the creature. Looked back in confusion. No, Anita! Get out! Run! The creature turned back to me, fury burning in its eyes. It took a claw fist into my neck and pulled me in close. No, I need to stop being clawed by this thing. You think you saved her? Stupid little insect. It doesn't matter whose life I claim. The creature lifted me by its neck. Its claws began to tighten. I opened my mouth to scream, and only a gurgle escapes. My legs kicked out in an attempt to fight the creature off. Dangling there, I felt powerless. I was out of ideas. This time there was no escaping death. It was everywhere I looked. Every corner of the house was enveloped in a sheet of fire. It was a race between which ending can claim me first. Both of them were extremely painful. On the corner of my eye, I saw something move. Behind the beast, a silhouette rushed forward. And he held being high in the air. With renewed vigor, she brought it down over the monster. Something shocking happened as the beast suddenly vanished into the painting when Nina slammed it over the monster. I told you, you gotta push it into the painting. A terrifying wail erupted around us. Come on, let's go! I need to help him to my feet. I struggled to catch my breath. I need to put an arm around me and begin to usher me to the exit. Wait! I pointed to the painting on the floor. I need to rid my mind and dashed over to toss into the burning wall of fire. The painting lit up instantaneous. A shrill scream echoed split through the roaring flames. Somewhere we knew the creature was dying. We wasted no time delivering and left the house. Alright, now that's a happy ending. For now. Once outside, we turned back to watch the blaze that stood that consumed everything. Only the black skeletal structure of the house was visible. Nothing could survive a fire like that. We saw it with our own eyes. The demon was destroyed along with the painting. Eddie and I share a look. Words could not explain what we had just been through. Somehow we both lived through this nightmare. It took half an hour for the firefighters to arrive. When they put out the blazing inferno, the house was nothing but rubble. Only whispers and ashes remained. An ambulance came to take me away. I was unresponsive to their questioning. They understood and let me have my silence. In time, they will be asking questions. They had all the time in the world. A team of investigators scoured the wreckage for any survivors. As I expected, there was nothing to be found. But there was something peculiar about the site. It's still alive, see. It got back in the painting, because we technically threw it in there. Some of the investigators believed it was some prank, that someone must have tampered with the investigation and secretly gained access to the site. For among the ruins, they found something strange. Of all the destruction, this one object had been found in great condition. No one knew where it came from, and no one knew the destruction it caused. So it's kind of similar to the other ending, but this one, everyone survived. Ending 25, 2 survivors. Okay, so that's the true ending right there. Because the creator said this was originally going to be a series, and this was going to only have bad endings. And then it was going to continue, and it was going to kind of expand the lore a little bit, and kind of be like a little bit of a Twilight Zone thing, or like one of Junji Ito's horror anthologies. And that didn't quite happen or something. So they say ending 25 is the true ending right now. But yeah, that's it for Grotesque Beauty. That's all I'm going to play. I'm not going to do all endings, and I'll show you specifically why, because if you click streaming here, the creator doesn't want you to do a complete playthrough. They do say here a little bit, please go through as many endings as you like. So maybe that implies I could do all endings, although that's kind of weird. Because of the, maybe because they don't want you, like, showing the game, but you can show, like, the ending itself, just not what leads up to it, maybe? I'm not sure. But just out of whatever respect, I'll just show those endings. I got the good portion of them anyways. If the creator ever shows up and, like, clarifies that, and says, like, oh, yeah, you can show every ending. That's fine. Just don't show up the path to it, per se. Then I would consider doing like a kind of just a dedicated all endings video, like just all endings. That's it, like kind of like no minimal commentary or just commentary over certain things. But till then, that's pretty much the end of Grotesque Beauty. I'm not sure if there's any reveal on what the creature is. I don't think they'll probably ever reveal that. It's just kind of one of those things. Like it's a painting of a dimensional monster. That's all you kind of need to know. It comes from some kind of abyss, possibly an afterlife-ish kind of place that you shouldn't go. And in the end, we solved it with fire, temporarily. It's still out there. It's still in the painting world, because it looks like it's a fairly durable creature. But for now, that's all that matters is we're safe. So, like a typical horror ending, that's how it goes down. But aside from the art style, I'm going to say this is not... It's not fully Junji Ito-ish. It's a little bit Junji Ito-ish. It's about... I'd say about 40%. 40% Junji Ito-ish. In the unexplained creature... the little gimmick twists, because his anthology stories usually have like a little gimmick twist. If this was a true Junji Ito story, I think the ending would have been the canon ending would have been you being stuck in the other world, and then there would have been a shot, like the final shot of it would have been you in the other world. it would have been, you looked into the abyss, and it would have been a really weird kind of like thing, and it would have ended there. And they would have had like some little one-off line, because this is how he writes it. With the main character's like, when I looked into the abyss, I saw both something that was both beautiful and grotesque. A true grotesque beauty. Or something. Because that's how he writes. But, as far as like a horror visual novel, it's actually pretty decent. There's nothing really necessarily amazing about it, like as far as writing or gimmick or uniqueness, but it's in that realm of very competent, and pretty good pace. There's never like any real... Sometimes it's overwords itself in a couple little spots, and there was like a little bit of a... almost like it needed like kind of a grammar editing thing. But aside from that, it had a very straightforward horror pace. Like you're watching a horror movie, oh, they got the painting in, oh, little spooky things happen, oh, the monster and betrayal and blah blah blah. So a very efficient, straightforward, normal horror story. No long-windedness. And I enjoyed that. That's about all I can really say about it. Anyway, so thank you all for watching me play Grotesque Beauty. I'll see you guys later, and take it easy.